Hey there, smartphone fans, tech enthusiasts and bargain hunters. Welcome back for another honest hands-on review on tech from China you probably never heard of, but you should have. And today I'll be checking out a new player that has entered the game recently. And this is my review of the Koolnee K1 Trio. One of the most beautiful devices I've ever reviewed as a budget phone with awesome display and all those lovely specs you like. 18:9 display, front fingerprint scanner, big 4200 mAh battery, 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of onboard storage, blah blah blah. Here the main selling points are a beautiful, thin and elegant phone with an awesome 18:9 display. Now the Koolnee K1 Trio is a dual nano SIM device, but its 4G bands are a bit limited. It will work with 4G anywhere in Asia and Europe, but it does have very limited USA and Canada support, so not the best phone to import to US and Canada. And this phone is strikingly gorgeous. As I mentioned, the craftsmanship is very well done. It's a glass back, it's like really good glass and really solid metal rim. As you can see, all the sides are curved, making it to fit really nice in the hand, and it is one of the better built devices I've ever seen. And the back is just an absolute light show and eye catcher, with the only craftsmanship flaw being a bit loose and wobbly volume up and down rocker. And now let's see what the Koolnee K1 Trio packs in the bag. You get a 10-watt charger, so no like fast charging here, just a standard 10-watt charger, a micro USB cable because this is a micro USB phone, and you also have a silicone case to protect that lovely back. But I kind of feel that it's negating the case because it stops the light show from happening. Now the display is really well done here. I gotta hand it to Koolnee. This is the thinnest bezel phone I've ever seen at a British price range. Just the bezels are practically non-existent, but that also means that you have the front camera on the bottom right, which I really don't like. And a lot of manufacturers really couldn't handle the 18:9 and the front fingerprint scanner, and Koolnee is doing it very well, but with the expense of the fact that there is no notifications LED on this phone because there's no space for it. The phone is beautiful, it's a joy to hold and to operate. It's just a very lovely device, very well done. And it's not only that, it's coming with Android 7.1.1 Nougat. You get like all the latest features like screen recording, pull up app drawer, force touch to view other functions of the apps, and all the specs here are absolutely real. 128 gigabytes of massive internal storage, which can be expanded with a micro SD card slot, so you don't get that in like below $500 phones. And it's real 6 gigabytes of RAM. All the specs: Android 7.1.1 Nougat, Helio P23, which is a great mid-range chip. All the specs you can see are real, and the phone is rocking a Sony IMX 135. You might be familiar with the sensor. It's one that's been used in the LG G3 and the Flex 2 a while back, so it's a flagship sensor but a bit older one. It does have all the sensors you need and the 4200 mAh battery. When it comes to benchmarks, the phone did really well, considering this is a sub $250 phone we're talking about here. Excellent storage scores, excellent benchmark scores like Antutu, and very good Geekbench results. The Helio P23, and what really matters here is fast storage. So the 128 gigabytes of storage is very fast, and it's very good in quality. What this means for gaming is that the Koolnee K1 Trio is a very decent gaming device. You can run all the latest games with great graphics from the Android Play Store and enjoy them in this lovely display. Now you may not be able to crank like every setting up to the max, but on medium settings they'll absolutely be playable on the Koolnee K1 Trio, and this is great for a budget device. And the battery, while it's not 10,000 mAh or anything, does deliver a solid 8-9 hours of screen on time on a single charge like every time. But it's a shame that the phone doesn't pack fast charging, just uses a 10-watt charger which charges the whole battery in around 3 hours, which is a bit of a shame here. I think that's mainly due to the micro USB port, which is something that I really don't like seeing in phones in 2018. Now onto the display. I can only say good things about this display. As I said, first of all, the bezels are really non-existent. The bottom bezel is very small, the top bezel and side bezels are practically not there. So this is an awesome display to view media on constantly. If you like watching YouTube, Netflix, movies from the internal storage, or playing a lot of games, this is an amazing display for you. This is like more than 85% screen to body ratio, which is excellent. And the sound quality of the phone was again surprisingly very good for a budget device. And now I'll tell you what I didn't like about the Koolnee K1 Trio. Since this is one of the first phones from Koolnee it's still new to the smartphone game, and it's a bit behind the competition. First of all, with the camera experience. Now, as you may have guessed, the second camera on the back is not an active sensor, and the depth of field effect is just by software. So this is a single Sony IMX 135 camera, which is still quite okay, and it was a flagship sensor, still delivers very decent photos if you're not a camera enthusiast, and definitely a bit decent low light photos, but it's still a camera experience you would expect at around $120, $30, $50 phones, and definitely not $300 above. But my main gripe with the camera is actually the front camera. The front camera is poor. There's no beating around the bush. Color reproduction, image quality is not very good for a $100 device, let alone a $200 plus one. So for all of you selfie lovers, this is not the phone for you. And the front camera is the main culprit why the facial recognition on this phone is so poor. Yes, that's right, this has the worst facial recognition I've ever seen. And it only works when you hold the phone like really high and really close to your face, otherwise it doesn't unlock at all. So I really suggest you don't use that, use the fingerprint scanner. And now we've come to what I didn't like about the software. First of all, the RAM management of this phone is not very good. The 6 gigs of RAM definitely not fully utilized, as the phone reloads apps a bit more than I would like, especially for a 6 GB RAM phone. So once you have like more than 10 apps open in the background, it will start reloading them. Another really thing that I didn't like was that the fingerprint scanner, you have to like press it a bit harder in order for it to register a touch, which really makes the user experience a bit frustrating. And the fact that they haven't implemented a recent apps feature into the fingerprint scanner makes it a bit redundant to actually control the navigation, because you have to use the on-screen keys in order to multitask. And you know you've made a really sloppy software when you've actually mistyped your company name in the device info sheet. Yes, that's right, it says Koolnee K1 Trio here, not Koolnee. So the Koolnee K1 Trio is one of the most beautiful devices you can buy. Thin, elegant, with perhaps one of the best displays as well at this price point, and hands down the best screen to body ratio I've seen in a budget phone ever. It has great specs like 128 GB of onboard storage, but its software needs work. The cameras, especially the front one, is not great. It doesn't have fast charging, and I don't know if it will get future updates. So this has been it. You can buy the K1 Trio from the link in the description below. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe to my channel for more honest hands-on reviews like this.